Hello and welcome. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share some messages, some light from the universe. I spent some time meditating and drawing in the power of the universe and clearing my personal space, so my body, my mind, and my soul. And then once I was complete that meditation process, I incorporated 4 stones into further meditation, and I drew in the energy from these particular stones. And then I spent some time in yoga practice, and then I sat down with these stones, and one at a time I drew cards from 5 different tarot decks. One deck is a oracle deck, but 5 different decks to pull specific messages for each one of these 4 stones. So the messages are very specific and they're very powerful. So what you would do in this type of reading is spend a moment looking at these stones, and whichever one you are drawn to the most is your message. We are in a really amazing time to be alive. We are seeing a lot of things that we've never seen before, and we're drawing upon a lot of different energies that we've never felt before. There's some big planetary alignments that are going on, and some just big energy times that we're in, and a lot of us are shifting. We're shifting perspectives, we're shifting realities, and we are going through this as a collective. This is not an individualized situation that's happening, which is what most of us are used to. Most of us are used to going through tower moments and trials and tribulations alone, and seeking help and guidance through, you know, whatever personal outlets that we have in that course of time. But right now we are united in a collective, transcending, moment. And a lot of us might not realize that. But this time that we're in right now, if we harness the energy and the we could say like lessons that we're all going through, if we can harness the message, then we will certainly have an opportunity to move forward into the new times that are coming in with some flow and with some general, collectedness and oneness, rather than the scattered type of emotion and feeling that has been what's the word I'm looking for? A society issue for some time. Like we've been in a particular way of thinking and maneuvering through our life situations without really getting to the bottom of the issues at hand. And when I speak about issues, I mean our internal struggles as individuals here on earth, right? We've been looking at life through a clouded lens that you can't see completely clearly through, and we're at a time right now where that lens is being removed, and people are losing their jobs, people are losing, homes, people are going through sickness and illness, people are afraid, dealing with fears and anxieties and so on and so forth. And this is a time where we can collect ourselves and share our messages with each other and share and spread love with one another and become a unified energy that is of love and light. And I think that focusing on what energy we choose to feed more, and knowing that there is darkness, and you must go through times of darkness to find that happiness, and that alone is a struggle for many, because the fear of losing things that are held so precious to us, like our material things that we've attached ourselves to, living in this egocentric type of mindset that has not been doing anything but harming our immediate environments, to a global environment. And those harmful things that we do, we might not see the effects of immediately. It's something that you contribute to for a duration of time, and then all of a sudden we go through this big planetary tower moment that we're going through right now, with not only the pandemic issue, but also forest fires and economic wars and so on and so forth. There's just so many things contributing to this dark, foggy energy that we have all, every single one of us, have been guilty of contributing to at some point in our life. And I'm not here to point fingers at anybody for behavioral patterns. Every single one of us is on a journey, a specific journey, and that journey only is structured to our personal timeline. It's not structured to when somebody comes into your life to give you a little bit of advice. It's structured to when you learn your personal life lessons and move forward in transcending on your spiritual journey. I am a firm believer in God, as in good, orderly direction. I don't attach God to a specific being. I attach God to a specific energy. I attach it to a white light and an energy that is within us, that we have the ability to harness when we decide to harness that energy. And giving that ability and biggest blessing that a person can have, because that good, orderly direction is that direction that helps us decide to want to help others and want to live fuller and a healthier life. So the message here is really strong, and these messages have more to do with your spiritual journey than it has to do with any other random personal daily situation. If you find that you listen to these messages and you would like something specifically tailored to your personal story, I am more than happy to help with personal tarot readings. I'll leave information in the description box with my personal email, and I would be completely happy to share some more personal light in your life situation if you indeed require that service. So now let's get out of the long 10-minute message. I just wanted to share some personal information and some light into your personal situation. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to take a look at these decks and let's get you, okay, right there. So take a look at those and pause the video if you need to, and pick the stone that most resonates with you and your energy right now. Whatever stone is calling out to you, that is yours. I do apologize for the shakiness. I'm using my cell phone to record this video, but pause it if you need to and pick your stone. So what will happen is I will timestamp each of the readings, excuse me, so you can go into the description box and get your timestamp that you can jump over to. So this is going to be the reading for the rose quartz. If you picked the first stone, this message is for you. I pulled some cards from a Osho Zen Tarot deck, and the very first message that came out for you, if you picked the rose quartz stone, was harmony. And this is all about, you know, inexpressible joy that you find within your heart center. And it's about pouring thoughts from your heart source into your third eye chakra and working with, you know, some cleansing water energy here. But this is about taking what's in your heart space and living by exactly that. And it is the most important thing that a human being can do by living from their heart source, because it will, no matter what, bring you extreme happiness, because that is your soul's purpose and what you're meant to do here on earth. We have a tendency to get inside of our heads sometimes, and there, you know, maybe an attachment to this message, but you know, if you have a tendency to live from a thought process, not so much your heart chakra, then that's how you know you're not on your path. Your path comes from your heart source. So whatever makes your heart thump and beat is your heart's desire, and that's what you should be working towards. And with that, you know, the next card that came in was ripeness, and you are fruitful and ready to share your riches. There's no such thing as a wrong time to share your experience. So going from harmony and working from your heart source into ripeness, where you're ready to share your experience. That's why this fruit is falling off of this tree, because you're ready to share your juice and, you know, your fruitfulness to the rest of the world. So you're in that perfect time and process to be able to do that. And then that brought us into the next energy, which is basically like the King of Cups energy, but this is having the ability to spread so much love that you can heal not only yourself but others as well. So living from your heart source and clearing and, you know, cleansing energies around you is what you're meant to do. So you're meant to be a healer of some sorts, whether that's you know, working in the nurse practitioner field, or becoming a doctor, or a holistics individual, or a Reiki healer. Anything in that type of field would definitely be where this reading is heading. So if you are in the field of even just healing one-on-one, by having enlightened conversations with other individuals and sharing your personal story with these people, is definitely what you are meant to be doing. On your spiritual journey, you're kind of at this spot. This is the portal card from one of my oracle decks, and you're at a position where you're looking at this doorway, and you can basically, with everything that you have right now, walk through this portal into the unknown, knowing and trusting that on the other side you will be guided and you will be protected, and you don't have to worry about not being able to not being able to succeed in what you are trying to move towards, because you just need to take that first step, and the next step will show up, and the next step will show up. That's just the process. Sometimes it's a little bit scary to move towards that next thing, but you just need to trust and have faith that that next thing is going to be there for you when you move towards it. Which brought us into our next energy. I pulled some chakra tarot cards, so we can do a little bit of chakra work in these conversations and messages here as well. And the first card that I pulled for you was the Nine of Coins, which is a really strong, it's a strong message and a strong card to be pulled. If you're sitting in the divine feminine energy right now, you have the ability to manifest whatever it is that your heart desires, and this is a stable and steadfast energy, and you're basically drawing in a stable and financially free type of future, and you're also pulling in the energy of the King of Coins, which that's your earth energy. So it's a very stable and steadfast type of energy that's coming in for you, and it's manifesting at the peak performance, and it's very fruitful and strong energy as well. If you look at this card, there's a bunch of fruit behind him and these two lions, and he's very focused and calculated, and he is just pulling in this magical coin here, and that's telling us that you have the ability, when you put your focus towards your goal, you have the ability to draw in whatever your heart desires. Then you bring in the Lover's card. So this journey could have a lot to do with bringing in the perfect mate. This is a sacred union, and this is you gazing upon this perfect, picture perfect type relationship. It's also embodying both the masculine and the feminine energy, and having the ability to flow between the two. So it could be a personal journey that you're working towards being able to transcend in between both energies and flow between them, or it could be bringing in the perfect partner where your life has that perfect flow, and it just continues to move forward. So really beautiful and strong messages there. I highly recommend spending some time in meditation, focusing on your heart chakra, and once you get to your heart chakra, cleansing the rest of your body of any other energies from that heart source, and ideas should come pouring in for you to be able to move towards walking through that portal and walking through that door, and having the faith required to take the next steps. But just know that right now we're in a time of rest and respite. The Four of Swords is an energy of, it's taking time for yourself, but it's also a good health card. So you can be happy in knowing that You have the ability to heal yourself, whether it is you just need to heal yourself from your thought processes, or, you know, you have the ability to heal from any illnesses if you take that time to rest. Which brings in your Hanged Man energy. And this is telling us that you're going to be in a bit of a suspension, so a time of suspension where you must ponder your personal decisions and whether some historical values are going to continue with you on your new journey towards healing and success and love, so much love, personal love, or marriage, or it could be that you're bringing in like the perfect mate or the perfect partner as well, and then becoming that perfect union and creating what it is that you are moving towards. So the Eight of Wands comes in with assured time of rest again, and it could feel like the future isn't looking too promising because of the time that we're in right now, but just be sure that this Page of Cups comes in to offer even just a time of happiness and celebration. And, you know, it's not a very steady and long time of celebration, but a message of love will definitely come in, and it'll make you feel like the future is bright again. And with that comes in the Seven of Wands, which is patience but assured success. I pulled some clarifying cards for this reading as well, and we got the Page of Swords with the Four of Swords, and that's, you know, it's a change, right? It's a message of a quick change that's coming in, which, you know, it could have had anything to do with the pandemic issues that we're in right now. Work, you know, could be, you could be working from home, or just, you know, spending some time in that rest and respite. The Wheel of Fortune was the card that I pulled for the Hanged Man, which is telling us that, you know, while you're in suspension, while you're waiting for, you know, the changes to happen, the wheel needs to spin. So then the wheel needs to take its course for the forward movement and momentum. So the Eight of Wands was clarified with the Tower card, which is telling us that things don't look like too promising in the future, because everything that you knew up to this point, everything you knew to be real, is being challenged and broken down, let's say. And in the beginning, we talked about a lens, and all of us looking through a lens. You know, you could associate it to even cell phones and you know, our digital worlds that we partake in for so many, you know, hours or however much time it is a day. But we're looking through a lens at other, you know, things, whether you're, you know, a social media type person or not. But are all of these things a real life situation? The only thing that you can hold true and hold real is what's within you. And right now, the whole world is going through a tower moment, and we are, you know, basically in a time of waiting for the dust to settle, so we will be able to see clearly to the next chapter of our lives. Which this Page of Cups comes in with this cup of love, and, you know, a promise of happiness, and a promise of, you know, fruitfulness. And he comes in and is clarified with the Hermit, which is going to take some introspection for you to be clear on what it is that you firmly believe anymore. So the veil is being pulled back on your mental existence right now as we speak. But with the Seven of Wands coming in with, some patience but assured success, you are closed out to your reading with the Star card, which is a really strong message in itself. So this message is clearly stating that going from your heart space and living in harmony with what your heart truly desires, you have the ability to share what is in you to other people, and you can change lives by completely healing these people with just your message, just your story. Nine of Coins, you have the ability to manifest the most beautiful life, and you are drawing in, when you call upon that energy, your King of Coins. And that could be personal energy, or it could be drawing in an actual individual into your life that's going to bring you this Lover's card. So it's not bringing you the Lover's card itself, but it's bringing you the energy that embodies this card, which is true balance and going through the process of learning and learning to embody those two energies. So walk through that door, walk through the portal. Know that you may need to work on your sacral chakra and your third eye chakras. Sacral chakra is going to bring you some creativity, and that's where your love and your zest for life comes from as well. And just know that this reading and whatever journey that you're on in your spiritual path right now is going to bring you this wish granted, the Star card. You're going to be fulfilled, and whatever your heart's desire will be yours. You just need to cast it out into the world and walk through that door. Thank you for being here with me, and I hope this message finds you well. To anybody who chose the rose quartz stone, thanks. We're moving on to the Lapis Lazu stone. So anybody who chose this stone, these messages are going to be for you. I'm really excited to bring this message to you because I spent some time with one of my girlfriends yesterday, and we spoke about this message, and it's just so real. Like I have goosebumps right now as I'm telling you this, because it's just so real, all of this information that came out. So the first card that I pulled for you is receptivity. So this is about being receptive to what the world has to offer you, and putting yourself into the mode of receival. So there's a need to clear and cleanse the energy within your body and your soul for basically mind, body, and soul. So what we do here is you can work with some even just taking baths, and spend some time in your energy in the bath, and when you unplug the bath, you let everything drain, and let that be part of a physical process for you as well. So stay in the draining water, and then focus on the draining of any negative energies that you may have in your body right now. This is about bringing the white light in and clearing way, because you're kind of in this stagnant energy right now, where you're in a postponement mode, where you're not having the ability to step past this grayness and move into this beautiful world that you see outside of your current situation. So your current situation, there could be anything that you are trying to move away from right now, but you feel like there's something blocking you from being able to take that next step. But this card the biggest message is that you're only hurting yourself if you continue to postpone whatever it is you're trying to move away from in life right now. Which brings us to our next card, and it's change. So the ability to change is not everybody has that ability. It takes time, it takes life lessons, it takes actually moving through life mindfully to be able to move past whatever life or karmic lessons that you need to learn. So this card is about getting off of the wheel and knowing that change is the only thing assured in life. So try not to get too attached to certain situations. If you know that you want out and you want past this, gray, almost like lackluster type of, energy or lifestyle, you need to understand that the wheel of change is always there, and it's up to you to move through it and get off of the wheel. It is up to you to mindfully get off of that wheel. So that brings us into our next energy, which tells me it's the Three of Wands. And this tells me that you've already casted that wish out to the world. You've casted it out to the universe. So right now you're waiting for that wish to come in. This card speaks to you might have to adjust your energy or your immediate situation to move past that waiting phase, waiting for it to come in. And this card that I pulled the next tells me that you are embarking on that journey. You're embarking on, instead of waiting for it to come in, you're going to get it. Six of Swords. These swords represent your life lessons. If you know much about tarot, the swords are an air energy, and it's very mindful type energy. She is taking either a child with her, or that could represent her inner child. But these three swords that she's taking with her represents her life lessons as well. Notice how much blue is in this card. There's so much blue here. This would speak to your throat chakra. So you would definitely maybe have to spend some time working on your speech and just being heard, and the way that you feel that the world hears you. So this energy is really strong. It's you're going on a voyage, and you're going towards what it is you want. This brings us into our next energy, and the High Priestess. So this tells me that you are on your path to the most divine spiritual enlightenment that you can be. And this is also mentor energy. So you could be moving towards getting yourself a mentor, or becoming that mentor and a teacher of your spiritual journey. Notice that the yellow is really strong in this reading. So solar plexus energy, focusing in on your solar plexus when in meditation, or just eating yellows and incorporating that into your daily diet will absolutely help with any struggles or blockages that you might be dealing with within those certain chakras. Symbolic. This was the oracle card that I pulled, and it's really beautiful because what this is it's those moments right before spring where things just start to bud, and it's a very fertile and like, beautifully optimistic card, because things are just starting to pop up, and things are just starting to change, and we're coming out of that winter energy and moving into that spring energy. So there's a lot of life and a lot of love and a lot of experiences to be had, and this is telling us that they're certainly going to come in, which is really beautiful. And then when we get into your tarot reading, the first card we pulled was the Knight of Cups. So, you know, the Knight of Cups, you know, he's a very charming and handsome individual, but, you know, is not the most stable when it comes to reality and living in, you know, the mind space of here and now, which brings us your obstacle, which is the Devil card. So there could be some narcissistic energy that you may be dealing with in your personal experience right now, and this is telling us that you need to break that bondage and move away from this devil energy. It's very very draining, and it takes from a person that is here to teach a story, because you won't have any of your yellow energy left once all of that happiness and sunshine is taken away from you from this devil energy. So you definitely want to consider moving away from whatever it is that's keeping you bondaged right now, which brings us the Seven of Pentacles, and knowing that there's going to be some work that you need to put in, and there's going to be a time and space that you need to work towards this you know, assured happiness and success, but once you get yourself into that working towards the next thing mode, it's going to bring you in the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. That's happiness. That is like the ultimate happiness in life. And then once you get to that point and, you know, go through all of these motions of filling these 9 cups here, it's bringing in the Knight of Pentacles, which is a very he comes in quickly, and he's got a vision, and he's going to get what he wants. And this tells me it could be new love that comes in. It doesn't need to be a man. It could be a woman too, because energy is, you know, it's all, and it is definitely bringing in some happiness though. So it looks like to me that you need to move away from whatever has been, you know, holding you back, because these swords have you stabbed in the back there. Whatever it is that you need to move away from is going to definitely bring you happiness and new love, is what I feel. So I pulled some clarifier cards as well, and we had the Seven of Pentacles clarifying the Seven of Pentacles. So 7 and 7 are very significant in this reading. I would look up your angel numbers, and 3s. You have 3, 3, 3 on the board here as well, from the Six of Swords, splitting those 2 swords off into 2 3 swords, and then the 3 of Wands. So 3, 3, 3 would be a significant number for you to look up as well. And just know that, sorry about that, just know that you were in the position that you're in right now. You are looking towards some time of potentially finding out things that are covered or hidden. The Knight of Cups was clarified with the Moon card, so there could be some very emotional times that have been already passed or just passing. And you could be finding out something that you didn't know before, and I think it would have a lot to do with this devil energy coming in, and just understanding that you are in a situation of bondage and you need to release and come away from that energy. The Ten of Swords was clarifying the Devil card, so that is inability to move because too much burden on your back. So moving into your challenge and obstacle, you have your Seven of Pentacles, which is you just need to work and forward movement to get yourself away from that energy, which is bringing you in the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, clarifying that. So this is your time, and you know, your complete and utter inexpressible joy and happiness, moving from the 9 to the 10, knowing that this is a process in your life that you need to you know, move towards, and you know, it's the natural progression of things. So just knowing that these steps need to be taken, and once this Knight of Pentacles comes in, he's being clarified with Temperance. So that is a time of healing as well. So whatever it is that you're moving away from all of these swords, is going to, once you get past it and onto your next, you know, time and space in the universe, you are going to have that time of healing, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful journey for you. You know, coming away from that postponement energy, the gray energy that, you know, could be, you know, moving throughout your body right now. Coming away from it and clearing way from it is going to benefit you in so many ways, and it's going to be the most beautiful and optimistic time in your life. And this is your journey right now, and this is the path that you need to take right now. And I really hope that these messages resonated with you, and I hope that they shine a little bit of light into your personal story and situation. And I really thank you for being here with me, and we're moving on to reading number 3 with the Tiger's Eye. I feel so much passion in this reading. There is so much fire in this reading. This was the Tiger's Eye. I hope I pulled that out and showed you. Tiger's Eye, 3rd reading, big messages, strong messages right now. And we will get started with the first card that came out for you. First card is generally your strongest message, but this is saying that you're in an ordinary type of, you know, life situation right now where you feel like it's lackluster and it's, you know, not very exciting, could be one of the words. But also know that there's so much beauty in and around life. And you know, this card is urging you towards finding beauty in the little things, you know, whether that's tending to your garden or cleaning the kitchen, doing the dishes, you know, cleaning out a closet. You know, because we're in a time right now where, you know, there's more time to ourselves, let's say, because we are not so busy with everyday stuff. This card is asking you to just find peace and love and happiness within that ordinariness, which brings us to our next card, which is totality. Like, this card to me, it speaks in a way that I completely understand. This whole reading is very fire-based. So I would be surprised if you weren't a Leo, a Sagittarius, or a Aries, because of how much red is in this reading. But totality, you know, these girls are, you know, on the swing and they're throwing, you know, someone back and forth. And this tells me that you could be a person that feels complete when there is, you know, an adrenaline shift or somewhat of a risk-taking kind of situation. But what this card is asking you is to feel total just in, you know, everyday life. And then it'll bring in a big breakthrough. And this card You know, it's a fire-based card again, but it's, you know, working from your solar plexus and bringing in an absolute, you know, happy and more than content moment in your life, because you went through a challenging time and some dark times to be able to get yourself to this breakthrough moment. This tells me that, you know, you could be releasing family karma, and, you know, just walking away and breaking through the boundaries that you've been bound by for a certain duration of time, which brings us to this tarot oracle card, that's Litha, and this is about summer solstice. And, you know, you see there's more fire here. I just want to show you something as well. Like, if you look at all of these cards, there's so much red on this table. So this is a very passionate reading, and that it could be why when we go back to that totality, there you need to feel like major passion to feel total. So, you know, if you're feeling lackluster, you're not feeling like you're completely yourself at this moment in time. And this Litha card could be telling us that once summer comes in, because this is a summer solstice card, once that comes in, you will feel complete and whole again. Although you could be going through your breakthrough right now, this could be when you celebrate that breakthrough and you just feel at your absolute best. So, coming into the chakra tarot cards, I pulled some chakra tarot because I felt that there might be some chakras that may need to have a little bit of work during this time that we're in. And again, we're going into the reds and the oranges. So that's speaking to your root chakra and your sacral chakra. And your root chakra is, you know, it's your base chakra, and it's how you feel grounded to this world, and it is, you know, how you feel when it comes to feeling safe within this world. So, you know, there may be moments that you don't feel completely supported, but you just need to build up that faith and know that you have the ability to do whatever it is that your heart desires and whatever makes you feel passionate. The first card I pulled was the Ace of Swords, and this message right here is, you know, basically telling you that you got an ace up your sleeve and you got this, but major change is happening, and we are right now within the tides of change, and that's, you know, this big body of water. But just know that, you know, a message of faith and love is going to come to you within this time of change, and it's going to help you feel more in your energy again. Two of Wands, because I feel that the energy of this reading is very fire-based. And the Two of Wands is, you know, calculated balance and the ability to manifest whatever your desire is. And this ball of fire right here is your desire, and you are creating from that energy source, and you control it. You control that energy source, which brings us into the Chariot energy. Very red energy again, and this is quick forward movement into the direction that you want to go, and it's victorious energy as well. So really beautiful. And then we get into the tarot, and we got the Hermit here. The Hermit tells us that you're in a time of introspection, introversion, and the time is important. There's a time, you're waiting for that time to take its course and take place. But you know, with the snake wrapped around this hermit's staff, this tells us that, you know, what's happening in the world right now in the healthcare system is the reason why you're doing this introspection, and you've been forced to do it. But this being forced into this introspection. Again, Two of Wands energy, and this is confirming that that's what it's bringing into your life. But knowing that the challenge and obstacle, here we go, a little more fire for you. The challenge and obstacle is the Tower moment, and this is the universal Tower moment that's happening right now. So there's a huge shift and change within our whole universe at this time, and we're waiting for the dust to settle, for you know, ourselves as a collective, as a whole, to be able to see through all of the dirt and the rubble and everything that is falling down and crumbling before us. But just know that once you go through that Tower moment and you understand that it's not about you, this moment is about the world collectively becoming better. Or that's not even what I want to say, like the world becoming more enabled to be able to see through all of this, you know, residual fog. But once you do complete that process, which you are very well working yourself towards to that breakthrough, you will embody the King of Wands energy, which, you know, if this doesn't speak to a Leo, Sagittarius, or an Aries, if you are not in that energy, this is telling us that you're going to be able to embody that energy and work within your passion and work within your desire and create and, you know, become a leader of some sorts, and you're going to bring yourself in the Empress energy, excuse me. So the Empress is the she embodies all of the energies of earth, air, fire, and water, and she is, you know, so fruitful, and, you know, she's, you know, very fertile and has the ability to, you know, move energy just with her existence. So that, it's funny because this king and this Empress, this is how they're laid out, and they're looking towards each other. They're gazing upon each other, and they are, you know, drawing each other in. And so that is the message that I get here for you. The Hermit was clarified with the Ace of Swords. So that's just a quick message coming in of change. And then you have two aces here. So, you know, we have 2 aces on the board. We have 11 on the board. So we have 1, 1, 1, 1, which, you know, is a significant message. We also have 2 of Wands, clarifying the 2 of Wands, which we also got the 2 of Wands in the chakra tarot. So 222 is another number that would be valuable for you to get further messages on. You can just Google those numbers. Angel numbers 1111, angel number 222, because you are definitely in a progressive energy right now, moving towards these beautiful things. The 10 of Wands clarified the Tower for you, and that's, you know, knowing it's, you know, it's that fire energy again, that's red energy coming in again. But this is knowing that there's work ahead of you, and you're going to take all of your wands and all of your passion and your drive, and you're going to move in the direction that you are meant to move, which is that King of Wands energy. And the King of Wands brought in the Lovers for the clarifying card, which tells me that when you embody this King of Wands energy, you are drawing in the perfect lover. And that lover is the Empress, which is clarified with the Knight of Cups. So an assured cup of love will be coming in for you once you make it through this breakthrough and get yourself to that time of summer solstice, where, you know, it's a very fruitful time, and it's the longest growing days of the season, you know, if you have a garden, but embody that ordinariness for some time to bring yourself to that breakthrough that you're moving towards. thank you for being here with me, and I hope these messages resonated with you. And we are going to move on to our next read. 3. So this would be the last stone. This is the 4th stone. This was the Malachite. If anybody chose the Malachite, this message is for you. Big, strong messages here. This reading really spoke to me in so many ways, because, you know, getting back to the change factor, we are in a really big time of change, and it's important for us to find enough strength within ourselves to be able to maneuver through those, you know, that change in itself, right? So your first card that was pulled was the letting go card. And this is about embodying an energy and an ability to just let go of whatever it is that you hold dear to, whether that's like a particular thought pattern, or, you know, it could be, you know, even a religious pull, but surrendering to gravity and understanding that you need to surrender and let go to be able to change your identity and become whole and become complete, you know, because sometimes we cast these ideas and these thoughts into our, you know, our mind space, and they aren't serving us. You know, they're actually holding us back, you know, in the time that we're in right now, when we're trying to unveil the truth. Unveil the truth. So your next card that you got was fighting, and if you can see here, this fella is in a rage. You know, this person, you know, is completely armored, so with the inability for anything to penetrate that armor, and because he's working in such like a rage filled, you know, mind space, you know, these buttons are ready to pop off, which will make him vulnerable to whatever he's fighting against. Up in the, you know, background here, we got 2 people fighting towards each other, and that could be even just a thought pattern, and fighting back and forth between what it is you truly desire and where you see yourself moving towards, right? So it's about like letting go of the fight and letting go of that internal struggle, because it's not serving you as a person anymore. And if you move past that point, you can bring yourself into a completely different energy source and bring in complete and total abundance. This person on this card here embodies the rainbow energy and has the ability to pull from every source of energy, and, you know, is completely happy and satisfied and fruitful and full of wisdom, and is, you know, this is bliss. This is complete happiness floating on a magical carpet of wisdom and fruitfulness. It's just complete bliss, and that is where we need to take ourselves. In the event that we are fighting, if we are fighting off illness, for instance, if we are fighting, you know, let's say cancer, we will be 1,000 times more successful if we embody the abundance energy, because it will make us feel happiness, which changes our cellular structure. If we are holding on to anger, resentments, you know, regrets, anything like that, it actually it can create illness in our body, not only our minds, but our body. And we only get one body in this life. So we definitely want to take care of it as much as we can, which brings us into our next energy, which is reflection. So this is a time where you need to reflect on yourself. And, you know, you may need to pull in that, you know, energy, you know, in the evening, working with the full moon as well. But, you know, cast your wishes into, you know, a body of water and move in that direction, and just, you know, understand that whatever it is you're fighting with, whatever you need to let go of is burning you out. It's you know, Nine of Wands energy. It's hard on your physical body, and it's burning you out. So you need to move past that, and you know, start your recovery process, because what you do now, anything that you do now in your life, you will have to pay a price in the future, and that's called karma. That is that process of karma. So if you make choices that don't serve your better self, you will not be able to well, what you'll do is just, you know, you'll not be able to move past that wheel of change that we're all on, and you will continue to live in an energy that just doesn't serve you or your progression on your spiritual journey. So that brings us into the World card, which is a time of stillness is needed, right? Some sudden change and disruption to your process that you've been going through as of late. It needs to be disrupted, and you might need to adapt to different thought patterns to be able to move into the Seven of Coins energy, which is moving in a direction and working towards something that will bear fruit and that will, you know, be successful. But for you to be able to do that, you need to get into your mind space and change the way that you may have been dealing with certain situations. So the first card that came out for you in the tarot was the Seven of Coins, right? So this is about growth, or sorry, this is the Six of Coins. Yeah, growth, healing, and it will bring some financial gain. And however that financial gain comes in, you know, is strictly like, that's your story, right? So the present, you know what, give me 1 second here. I took notes for these readings, just so you know, but your present position was stability, enjoyment, time to complete a cycle, and bonding. So that's the Six of Pentacles. So some stable times are coming in, and you're going to enjoy some time to yourself. The second card that came in for you was the Two of Cups. And so this could be, you know, marriage. It could be an engagement. It's, you know, sharing, you know, a specific time in a partnership. You know, it's about alignment, agreements. It could be about reconciliation as well. So somebody could be coming back in once you move through these energies, right? Once you start that letting go process and move from that fighting energy. So this actually speaks to me that maybe you've been fighting with an old partner, and that's the two of you kind of, you know, fighting. Maybe you're dealing with a situation with kids and, you know, the justice system, because coming into your next energy, so you had the Nine of Swords, and, you know, a victim of stress, extreme anxiety, you know, maybe battles within the family. So, you know, that speaks to potential battles with a ex-partner. But this tells me that if we move into the next energy, which was the 10 of Cups, that's happiness. That's happiness at home and complete satisfaction. And the outcome of that is the Justice card, which tells us that whatever you're dealing with, the truth will be revealed. The absolute truth of your situation will come out, and it'll bring you happiness. But the time is now to reflect on those things and just know that these changes they're necessary for you to be able to embody that abundance energy, which every single human being on this earth deserves to live in abundance. So going back to your clarifying cards, just let me get them organized here. It looks like there's some battles, some definite battles coming in. We got the Death card, the 8 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and the World. So closing out your reading with the World is really great, and you got the World twice here. So what you're going through right now needs to shift. And however that shift happens, know that there will be some heartbreak and there will be some, you know, battle. There's definitely somebody that doesn't have your best interest at heart, but in the end, justice will be served. So watch your karma, watch your personal karma, and the World will come in and that change will happen. The 8 of Wands is bringing in quick messages, but things might look uncertain when it comes to the future. But a death of a specific behavior pattern is necessary for this change to properly come in. So focus on letting go, focus on feeding all of your chakras. With the World being here twice, this card has the most, it speaks the loudest, and what it's focusing on is your crown chakra and your mind space and all of the color energy. Spend some time eating like your fruits, your vegetables. You may need to cleanse your system to get rid of this fighting energy that is really clear and apparent here on the table. But just spend some time in it, reflect in it, and move past it. Work with the moon if you need to. Take baths and really hone in so you can become part of this beautiful process that we're all in together right now. It's a big time. It's a big time for us. And if we can come past the energies that we're all struggling with and transcend and get ourselves closer to, you know, that headspace that we definitely want to embody for strength and agility in our new worlds that we're moving into. I want you to come with me on this journey, but I don't want to push you. You need to jump and you need to let go. So I hope these messages find you well, and thank you for being here with me.